thank you guys so much for welcoming me to your home. I know we say homeless, but you do have a home. This is your home.
It's a shit shack.
Yeah, it's a little shack.
We were there in 30 minutes last night in the dark.
You guys threw this together last night?
Well, just it was impromptu.
Yeah.
She'll build a Robinson Crusoe beautiful paradise. But the time that we had, I just grabbed a whole bunch of materials and threw it all together in a little Mr. Leahy design. It's great.
Yeah. So, how long have you guys known each other?
2 years.
2 years. All of it's been on the streets?
Yeah. Well,
No.
not for me, but yeah.
Okay.
I've.
How long have you been on the streets, sir?
I've lived here since 19. Well, on the streets since 19.
Yeah.
I've lived here almost my whole life, 30-something years.
Okay.
It's a very small town. It's a place for old people to die, not young people to live, in a retirement state. And the primary demographics obviously very old. Powers that be really don't want to acknowledge that a homeless population exists or ingratiate them in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And the reality is that, I mean, there used to be camps, they keep running people out of their spots, and now you guys are practically almost having to hide in residential neighborhoods because they've run everybody out of, like, the places where homelessness would normally be.
There are very few of us left, I say all the time. There is a population, but everyone's just taken to jail. And with the new laws that are being passed about camping in public or falling asleep in public, it's an eradication. It's people eventually have to sleep, and a lot of people just stay up all night because it's easier to sleep during the day. Is Tetsuo over there?
He is in the back of the basket.
It's safer. I mean, because at night you got people roaming through here, robbing, and so you guys have to sleep a lot of times during the day.
Well, it's not exactly a nice way to live. Thankfully, you're not going to freeze to death, but the mosquitoes, the flooding, this place, you could live extremely comfortably. It's just that the town is changing. Once they put in the Scum Seekers building, they want to put some kind of image out on the town. That's just not the case. There's a very large homeless population here, and it's dwindling down to very small pockets, and it's just inhumane.
Yeah. I mean, you think about most people drive down that major highway behind us, and the last thing that they imagine is that there's young people living in an improvised tent.
There's absolutely no way that anybody, as I'm not very good at math, but
Yeah.
I mean, nobody on a single could pay their way in a house. You have to have a roommate, you have to have this and that. And if you do, even with two people, you're paying for a place to fall asleep at night. It's a house to sleep in, not to live in. And you'll open your fridge and you'll have a pack of ramen noodles in there, and that's it. And you're working all the time. You come home, you collapse, you wake up, you hit an alarm clock, and that's not living life. I was born in New Bedford, Massachusetts.
Okay.
But I've lived the majority of my life down here. Obviously, it's a little more comfortable to be out in the sun and fun instead of the snow. I lived up north in a couple states, and it was very depressing for me. I didn't know what seasonal depression was. Once I built the snow angel and did that like one or two times, I'm like, all right, this sucks. I bought a fancy $700,000 bike. Didn't know I was only going to get to ride it for a few weeks, and it's like I'm going to make it back and forth to work. No, you're not. Slide on the ice, you crash, and that's just going to work, going home, and that's it. I had a nice entertainment center, but I ended up drinking very heavily, and I was fat.
Cool. Yeah. And where were you born?
Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay. I like Rhode Island. It's a cool state.
Yeah,
it's probably my
small.
favorite state in probably my favorite state in the Northeast is Rhode Island. Yeah. I think it's kind of like a show spot, it's a big city, but it's
Yeah, well, it has Providence. That's a big city,
Yeah.
but there's small towns. Like where I was from was Bristol.
Did you ever meet Peter Griffin?
No, I did not.
You know, the Family Guy's based out of Rhode Island.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Rhode Island. Rhode Island's pretty straight.
Yeah, it's little. Though.
How do you guys meet?
You wanna tell the story? Or do you want me to tell it? You tell the story. You're better at telling stories anyway.
The casinos popped up here and became very popular. Everyone seems to win a lot of money there, except me. She wins a lot of money, but I don't. And through a mutual constituent, we ended up.
Look at her blushing, dude.
We ended up. And, yeah, we haven't been able to get rid of each other since, despite trying very.
Yeah, I know this. I know the feeling with my wife. We've tried to get rid of each other on many occasions.
But you had asked.
Yeah.
About the way that I was moving.
Yeah.
I have a lot of injuries. A couple months ago, there was a little stint of what would you call them? Aggressive crocheting contest, and I make the joke that the old ladies can be very aggressive.
There you go.
So this nice gentleman had popped out of the bushes, essentially, started swinging a machete around.
Oh crap!
And I was the only person that was stupid enough or brave enough to try to.
Wait, you guys were just chilling in the woods, and a guy attacked you with a machete?
Well, I was fishing at the pier with some of my friends. We were getting our gear lined up, but I mean, he just popped out, and well, it's not a big deal. He's actually a very nice gentleman, I'm told. But I'm covered in scars. I think we've run out of times that I've been stabbed, so we had to create new categories for machetes and swords and shovels and stuff.
Florida's a machete state. The rest of the South, gets down with like weaponry. We do machetes in Florida.
I had a bladed shovel to the back of the head. That was Michigan, though.
That's where my wife's from.
So it's not always pleasant. And,
it's a lot of battles.
Well, psychologically is the big ones. Having to wake up every single day, and of course, when you're dealing with this particular graphic, people have a propensity to try to numb themselves with various things, whether it be alcohol, drugs, cheeseburgers, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, homelessness is a difficult process. Mosquitoes, it's emotionally draining. Like you said, waking up every day and looking at this and saying, okay, I don't have a place. It's kind of like a sense of hopelessness, I would imagine. Getting ran out of one place from the other.
The stigmatization that comes along with it.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It's brutal. A lot of people are just mentally ill, or schizophrenic. Other people, there's a difference. There's a divider where some people are not able to actually fit into society, and then you have people who maybe are high functioning and choose not to fit into society. Me, I can't push. I have a great deal of difficulty waking up every single day, hitting that alarm clock, and having my soul sucked out by a machine where I'm just a nameless cog. I just can't do it. I mean...
Yeah, you have to find something. I'm the same way. That's why I'm a YouTuber who goes to the woods exploring homeless camps. Like, I couldn't be that person. If it wasn't for YouTube giving me the chance to, like, do what I like to do, which is, like, being in the woods and going into bad areas and whatever it is you're into, like, there are careers where you guys can, whatever it is you like doing, there's got to, you guys have talents.
She's the dreamer and she's the one doing the stuff. I just make the shit shacks, but she's got a grand idea that she came up with just last night, and I'm just the guy that.
Yeah. What would you like to, like, where do you see yourself? What are your plans? Because even if you're out here, everybody has,
I wanted to start a nonprofit that's going to benefit everybody, the homeless community and the county, the state, other states if it branched out, and including mental health awareness, and it would be where me and volunteers and a few more people that I would elect to be team members of the thing. We would go around to the homeless camps that are abandoned, like you see here, and clean them up. Either have a disposal company put a dumpster down and just fill it up and get everything out of here and get it back to what it looked like before everybody lived here. and then move on from there and keep on going. So therefore we can clean up these messes, because this isn't acceptable, and it's because of the fact they get trespassed, and then they're afraid to come back to get their stuff. So when they do come back and get their stuff, they just ransack their own stuff and leave a big mess because they're afraid of getting caught. And that's
explains
not
a lot,
cool.
yeah.
And then they get a dumping fee, and then they get arrested for it. And it's a snowball effect, and I don't think it should be that way. So I figured if I could come up with some kind of way to make it where we're all kind of helping each other, and I was going to do it on YouTube.
You have a phone?
I do. I have an iPhone.
Do you have a Gmail account?
I do.
You're practically a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I mean, you see how I'm doing it. You got to record sideways for YouTube. If you have a phone and a Wi-Fi, I think you should start interviewing. Like, you're a female, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I've been homeless.
I think so.
I've been right.
I hope so.
But yeah. So what I'm saying is, because like, okay, look, I'm a guy, and I think a lot of what females go through on homelessness, like if I try to approach you guys out here, I'm a guy. It's more intimidating. I'm sure you understand what I mean. You're a female, so you have the ability and the art of getting people to like dig deeper into their.
Disarming. No one will speak to me. No one will make eye contact. No nothing. But if I'm with her, everyone wants to come up, and it just
So use that ability. There's you know people out here. You've been out here a little bit.
I know a lot of people here. Yeah.
So look, I have to pay homeless people because I'm from the outside world, right? So I can't come in here and do this for free. But you're out here. They'll do it. Like, you got a phone. Start interviewing people out here like I am. Understand their stories deeper. Get their stories. And that is the biggest mental help, because I feel like a lot of people out here have been forgotten. I did a video less than a mile from here, less than a year ago. 700,000 people saw it. And I recorded it. You see what I'm recording with right now, right?
Yeah.
A phone just like yours. You know the power of 7,000 people seeing that guy's story?
It's crazy.
And right now he's locked up. He's not free, but that story's out there now. If something happens to him, his friends will be able to remember him by it. So like, you can find purpose out here. Like, I've met people like this situation doesn't limit you to you guys both not to have a purpose.
No.
Young man, I know you say you like fishing.
Yeah, I make custom rods. I make things.
You make custom rods.
Well, if you mean by custom rods, I mean I'll get a blank, and then I'll take some dollar store supplies, and I'll take some eyelets, and I'll sewing thread them together. But yeah, I have lifelong fishermen that work for commercial services that will take a rod that I made in 30 minutes with dollar store supplies over one you buy at for $500 at the sportsman's place down there.
Right, and you are not paying for a shop.
No.
Right, your shop is free.
I mean, you got to go to $1 or $2 for supplies at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
So a little bit of sewing thread or whatever you can find, and gathering the eyelets is probably the harder part. I mean, but I give things away a lot of the time. I gather things up and I just give them away because I
understand.
I'd probably be a much richer man if I didn't.
Yeah.
People tell me that I'm a good salesman, but I'm probably not, because I, give the farm away, as they say.
Yeah.
This is a cheetah? It's a cheetah. It's a cheetah because we go to the casinos. She's the fastest land animal. She's a cheater. She's a cheetah. I don't win. So that's what this is.
Because I sit down at the machine and I hit the fire link every time.
You guys have really good chemistry together.
Oh, if you only knew. She's, both of us are very stubborn and strong, and we're just, we both want to be the boss, so that doesn't really work out all the time. But, I mean, there's something deeper than that I can't possibly explain.
You know how many people have lived in a mansion their whole lives, and the moment that they find themselves on the street, their relationships go to crap? Have you ever thought about that? Like, there's people that, like, they'll live happily forever after in a mansion, right? But then the moment they find themselves in this hut, how long do you think those relationships last?
Because they're stressed out and they fall apart. And that's when they should be really pulling together. because all they have is each other.
Well, it sounds kind of corny, but it's not supposed to be. Love is not about money, but you can't exactly. Well, you get kind of tired after drinking cactus or eating cactus after a while.
You're drinking
so-
cactus?
Well, it's like one of those little fancy umbrellas, but
You made her a cactus Rita.
well, she made it for me.
A
But
cactus Rita.
Yeah.
it's very symbolic. Maybe someone out there really appreciates cactuses and thinks they're pretty, and a lot of things that are pretty can hurt you.
You guys are freaking. Was your childhood normal?
Well, I'm not entirely sure what normal is. I think that sanity is completely subjective, as is intelligence. It's an artificial construct within the confines of each individual's own sentient reality, so it's kind of hard to make an empirical measurement about such a thing. But I guess most people wouldn't think it's normal to make custom knives and fishing rods and live out in a shit shack and
You made
have
that?
cheetah jokes. Yes. Well, not the metal, but
Yeah.
everything else. It glows in the dark. It's just an inanimate object. It's just a tool. But she's really the artist, and she'll, by the end of it, if we had enough time, she'll take all the palm fronds and wind them into a little fence, and there'll be an elevator and there'll be all
A
kinds of
jacuzzi.
stuff.
You know what?
Maybe.
Have you guys
Actually,
considered?
maybe.
I'm dead serious, man. I've never seen this in a homeless camp. I've been to hundreds of homeless camps, and I can see you guys. Have you guys? All you need is a good tarp and a lot of water, which comes from rain.
Like a hot tub.
Have you guys considered your freaking homeless camp hot tub for you guys?
Well, I mean, this was what I threw together in, I don't know, in 30 minutes or something, an hour last night. But I'm not kidding when I'm saying this one will literally take, and no money needed.
Yeah.
And she will create a Robinson Crusoe elevator paradise. I swear to you.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing the pool
This
thing.
place right here screams. I mean, you got nice soft white sand. You got pallets laying around. One good tarp and like drainage to the and you got yourself a freaking rainwater hot tub up in here, bro.
I used to build little cities. I mean, and maybe electricity, the solar panels, just like across the street over there at that camp.
Yeah.
But the problem is, well, one of my rules of the road is, and she's not of the same belief, I think, is you only take or only own or only possess what you can carry on your back. And
Smart.
that becomes very difficult. Last night I had a number of my things taken from me by somebody who's obviously not very smart, because there will be consequences and repercussions for that. But everything I have is very expensive and it's very nice, not because I'm trying to show off, but because if I'm going to possess something, it's going to be worth its weight. I'm not going to have just a normal dollar pocket knife. I'm eventually going to have something like a folded steel Damascus that's handmade, one of a kind. It's not.
It makes sense because I mean, like, it makes sense that, you know, why invest time and effort into something that you're eventually gonna have to leave behind. That makes a lot of sense.
Flashlights,
There's more value to having less if you're homeless.
battery packs.
I learned
Yeah.
that a long time ago. The less I have, the happier I am.
The circle is very small here, and unfortunately, thievery is very, very common.
Yeah. So it doesn't even make sense to have a whole bunch of crap after all. It just gives them an opportunity to take something from you.
Yeah, and then, you know, you're seen. I have a backpack that's just massive. It's so big I look like a Ninja Turtle. Right. Yeah, I can't even get in the door.
It's all right.
You know, and I got a small backpack now, but other people would think it's rather large. And there's that stigmatism. Once you fit that aesthetic, you got the backpack, you're on a bike.
Yeah,
The
marked.
cops are coming straight
You're
toward you.
trespassed.
I was trespassed from the Wawa up the street instantly. I walked onto the Wawa. I had never stepped foot in the store, not once. I walked over to one of the tables, put my backpack down, pulled my tackle box out because there's a canal right there, and 4 cops approached me and another individual and said, "You are trespassed." And I said, "Why? I never did. You got the wrong person." And no, you're trespassed. Just instantly. Never walked in, never had a chance to buy anything, never got to use the restroom.
Yeah, lack of due process is a huge problem in this county. Which, you know, you can accomplish a safe community without taking away people's rights.
There's no crime. There's nothing
Yeah.
being done here.
Mhm.
It comes from the jail. That's where they make their money. where they take you, they lock you in here, they hold you for as long as you can, and there's a 400% markup on anything. Oh, you want to watch a TV or you want to listen to radio? A penny a second when it comes to corruption in this town.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody. We're not going to get into details, but I think most people. This county's already been on national news recently, 3 or 4 times.
Really? Okay.
You guys don't have TVs, I understand. Then there was, you guys hear about the cop that got killed by a homeless guy?
By a homeless guy.
Was a homeless kid, yeah.
I know about the one that got shot over
Crap.
there by Sunseekers.
Diaz, Officer Diaz
ago.
got killed by a homeless guy. I think there's even a necessity for you guys to elaborate on the corruption in this county, because I think it's pretty straightforward, so we can just skip on that. Do you guys have a Cash App?
We do.
Break it down, so in case somebody wants to help you guys.
Mine is Medusa. It's MADUZA 44, and his it's on the tablet, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. But the tablet's dead.
She's gonna take your money either way, so as long, my wife takes my money either way.
I think it's Cash Me Out too, but it's spelled funky.
Is there anything you guys would like to say about homelessness in general, how people should treat you guys, or something people need to know about what you guys are living out here?
What happened? Don't judge a book by its cover. Everybody has a story. Everybody's going through something. Why make it worse for anyone? And I think that's just for everyone across the board, even if you're not homeless.
Yeah.
There had been, and I'm gonna make this as succinct as possible.
Yeah.
There had been stories that I've been hearing my entire life that are just absolutely crazy, insane. No way that happens. I'm not going to get into it right now, but those stories, one day I just kind of started to think, everyone's telling the same exact story, despite who they are, where they come from, whatever. So there's got to be some kind of truth to it. Eventually, no one believes you. You sound crazy, and you're completely isolated from your friends and family. Scorched earth policy is that the best way to eradicate homelessness is to destroy their home. Cheaper than...
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. No, I don't want to put you guys in a dangerous spot. I don't think I've ever...
It's already done, and it's okay. And
No,
I accept that, and I would rather be a martyr than,
No, it's okay. I'll edit some parts out, and I'll make sure it sounds safe. I don't really care about all that crap, but I care about people.
Yeah.
Right? So, we're not here to hurt you. We're here to let people know your stories, humanize you guys. So I'm not going to put out something that's going to make your situation that's already hard enough harder. It's all good. What makes you happy every single day, young man?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she does.
But he answered right. Let me tell you what, he answered right.
If we're not in the middle of a screaming contest or whatever it is.
He answered right. A lot of people don't answer that right. You got a smart one.
I just enjoy... There's nothing I'd enjoy more than laying down, being comfortable, and having her next to me and playing our little video game or whatever it is we're doing, and going fishing.
You guys like fishing?
Good food.
Yeah.
And just being happy together, and without all the things that create stress, like money and lawyers and bills and
fishing poles. Yeah. What makes you happy, young lady? You don't have to lie. He has to lie.
No,
he has to lie.
I'm
You
not
don't.
lying. I literally said it to him this morning.
Yeah.
Well, I woke up. This is what I woke up to. Okay.
Yeah.
I wake up to this freaking thing, and it's got this in its mouth. Okay. And
yeah.
This is the stuff. I don't.
I mean, being together out here has to make you guys' life so much easier.
It's a challenge, because you spend more time. I guess he wanted his time too.
Yeah.
You spend more time. You're not really able to love each other because you're too busy fighting or stressing over small petty things, and a lot of the time. I spend wondering what it could be like if we didn't have all the stresses of, just trying to exist.
Sounds like he wants to provide for you.
It's difficult. It's very,
Yeah.
very difficult. And but that's what life is. You can't appreciate the light if you don't have shadow. So
That's some weird talk right there. You guys have been incredible. I really appreciate you guys letting me in here. I know some guy walking through the woods with a YouTube camera is enough to get a machete out over.
Well, I had first thing I'd said to her was,
Yeah.
"Where's my stick?"
Yeah.
I have a piece of a broken over there. I was gonna knock you with.
Yeah.
Because hey, I'm a YouTuber. I come in peace. I am your friend.
No.
That's why I
Okay.
was like, just come around. He's like,
Okay.
no, I don't want
Yeah.
to talk to anybody. I'm like, nah, it's all right.
I'm glad you guys. I'll edit it down. I'll cut a few parts out that are not necessary. I think when it comes to the way homeless people are treated in Florida, I think everybody kind of already understands. I don't want to make you guys' lives more harder than it already is. But I do feel like, you guys have something to work towards together. I don't think neither one of you wants to be here right now.
I don't mind being with him and living. Do I want to be somewhere that I have to worry about? Are the cops going to walk up here and kick us out of here and we're going to have to move? Are we going to lose something else? Somebody going to steal something?
Illegal. You know?
Right.
What am I
That's the
being-
only thing.
What am I being charged with? The crime of existing, sir. I was arrested for resisting arrest. But what am I in charge, Your Honor? We were resisting. You were resisting. What was I resisting, though? Well, that's for you to.
Yeah.
So
All right.
it's what it is.
So you guys would just ask, let's say, if law enforcement encounters you guys. I know law enforcement in this county watches my videos because everybody watches the videos. It's huge. When you just say, please just be nicer to us, and you guys got to be nice to them too, though.
I'm pleasant with them.
All right.
It's not that I feel that they need to be nicer to us. They need to supply
It's
more
not
information as far as helping us.
Resources.
It's not the police. It's not the people running the
It's the-
key. It's the people that are doing the legislation, the prosecutors,
Yep.
the people that are counting the money.
Yeah.
Then that's where the problem is. Most of these cops around here, they're no difficulty. And for the most part, they're very decent, at least in my experience. It's not the cops, but they are.
It's like a commissioners and people that are forcing them to make you guys disappear, when in reality, if there were resources like in other states, because every state doesn't have this freaking plague we got here in Florida.
And it's just, the resources are just very poorly spent. But like I said, this is a place for old people to come and spend their money and die, not young people to live and prosper.
Absolutely. That's one of the most genius quotes I've ever heard. I'm going to let you guys go. I've really enjoyed talking to you guys and welcoming me into your home, we'll call it. Thank you so much for your hospitality. I know I came unannounced. You guys have been great.
Thank you.